Welcome back, everyone, to another incredible episode of Chat with Dan here. Now, for today, what can I say? We're already having an epic, super badass Tuesday because we have on the show the incredible, amazing, the badass, the superstar, the one and only, the legendary, the incredible Emma. Emma, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing fantastic. What better way to have an incredible Super Tuesday than to be chatting with someone as badass as you? You know what I mean?
Thank you. Same to you.
There you go. Now, if you are new to the channel, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, follow, helps a lot. But also, in the description below, you're going to find Emma's social media. Let's follow her, and let's discover why she's super badass. Now, without further more, let's jump in. So I want to start this whole conversation by throwing out, the first question, which is, what initially drew you to acting? Was there a specific moment or performance that solidified your passion for it?
There definitely, I think, was a specific time, not a specific performance. And that was honestly the first time I was ever on a movie set. And it was actually filming. I live near Calgary in Alberta, Canada. And it was filming right by my house, actually. And I just saw it. It popped up on I think it was Facebook or one of those platforms where it was just kind of like a big call. Hey, we're looking for some BG, which is background for our movie set. And it was actually for Under the Banner of Heaven. It was filming in a town called Didsbury at the time. And the day that I kind of submitted for was a parade day that we were going to be filming. And I had never been on set before. I very much so kind of knew in my bones that I wanted to be an actress and I wanted to be able to pursue that. But I was like, okay, let's slow your roll. Let's actually get on a set and see kind of what that environment is like before I kind of fully put myself into that. And it was exactly what I thought it was. It was amazing. The collaboration was so awesome to be around. The energy of everyone on set was great. And it was also a really cool day, it being a parade. We did an actual full parade, and we did it, I think, at least 4 takes. And it was so cool to see how many people go into making a movie, whether it's, cast versus crew. And it was just great because we had baton throwers, we had horses, we had carriages, we had people riding individually on horseback. And the coolest part to me was after we were done the parade, there was candy thrown and there was confetti and all of these things. There was so many people on set that immediately cleaned it all up and made it look like we were just going again. And it really, really it solidified my passion for it because I realized just how you can make your own reality with film, especially for, the writers being able to see their work come to life, and as actors being able to bring their characters to life. I just immediately fell in love with it and was very much so like, this is what I want to do. And just doing BG at the time, I was seeing the leads and they were on horseback, and I'm very much so an equestrian ride almost every day here on our ranch. And yeah, that very much for me was I want to be there. That's the role in this whole production that I want to be playing, and I want to work towards that. So
And you're making it happen, so
yeah, we're working on it. It's going great so far.
that's great. That's great. I love it. We're starting up strong here with the badass level 5. You're saying, that's really cool. The fact that you were meh, and move forward, and now you're making it happen. That's pretty cool. There
Yeah,
you go.
I definitely had my heart set on it, and then, made myself be like, okay, once we actually see what it's like, then we can set our mind to it. And once it was kind of everything that I thought it was, I was full steam ahead that that's what I want to make happen. And when I have my heart and my mind set on something, I'm pretty determined to get it.
There you go. I love
Yeah.
it. And as an actor, you often have to inhabit the lives of various characters. So how do
Mhm.
you approach stepping into a new role, and what techniques do you use to make the character, feel authentic?
Mhm. Well, as far as honestly, like a character kind of feeling authentic, I would say, you're not really rather the word inhabiting, that character, you're really kind of bringing them to life. And to do so in kind of the best way, in my opinion, that is to kind of, without obviously changing the character that you've been given from the writer, because you don't want to change their work, you want to improve it so that when they see their character come to life, they go, we made the right choice with picking this actor or this actress. And it's rather, yeah, than inhibiting it, it's kind of catering it to yourself without changing it. So making it as authentic as it can be, with being, obviously we're actors, so we're not making it into the person that we are in our daily lives, but catering it so that we can convey that character the best that we can, so that it comes across as authentic and doesn't look like we're, acting to be that character. It just looks like we are them.
Hmm. I mean, it's a whole other process, right? And also I mean, it's amazing the fact that you can get the chance to play everything.
Yeah.
There are no limits to it, and even though when you are able to portray any type of, character or anything, the connection somehow you are managed to create with the audience, based on the character you created. I mean, that I think that is one of the interesting and amazing things, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, absolutely. And yeah, being able to convey that to the audience, whereas, it just is also coming across as authentic, where they're not watching it. Whereas obviously we have superheroes and stuff in movies, but for most characters where it's relatable and it's in their mind, it's achievable. It's someone that they go, oh, I would know that person, or I've kind of, I've met that kind of person in my life. It makes them feel more connected to that character as well.
Totally. Totally. And many actors, have rituals or routines to get into character. So what's yours? And do you have any pre-show ritual that helps you to get into the right mindset?
Honestly, I don't have like a step, 1 to 5 set ritual. I would just say honestly, like my ritual for getting into character would be on your daily, taking care of yourself, mentally and physically, so that you can always show up the best that you can to be that character. And honestly, really knowing the script, really knowing it inside and out, and talking, with your co-stars and everything like that, and directors and the writers, to be making sure that you are conveying that how you can to the best of your ability. But as far as a ritual, like I don't have like, I don't have a, you eat this specific food, you do this specific thing, you'll nail becoming that character every time, because every character is completely different. And yeah, I would say honestly, as far as a ritual for becoming the best character you can be, is taking care of yourself, so that mentally you're as sharp as you can be. You can come up with the best ideas for each individual different character, and also taking care of yourself physically as best as you can, so that you have the energy to do so as well, for whatever energy your character requires, depending on who they are.
And there you go.
Yeah.
And, acting can be emotionally demanding. So how do
Mhm.
you maintain a balance between immersing yourself in a role and taking care of your mental and emotional well-being?
Well, honestly, I would say, I'm speaking personally just for myself. I'm really lucky, because, I live here on our ranch. We have lots of animals. I personally have quite a few horses, and I'm really, really privileged to be able to do that, because that really helps, that after every day, no matter what I'm doing, I have an awesome place to kind of come back to and unwind and reset. We also, me and my family, when I'm with them here, we take a lot of trips to the mountains with our horses, and that I'm really, really spoiled to be able to do, for sure, because that is like the best meditation for me, to unwind, be the best person that I can be for when I'm coming back to work and showing up how I need to be. And also just on the smaller, little life things, it's kind of that repetitive thing of, that you've heard 1,000 times, of drink your water and eat good food and stuff, but it really, really does help and it really does work, especially for me, at least, just with mental clarity and energy and everything. Because for me, if, I kind of have a brain fog going on, or I have a bunch of thoughts running through my head, it's really hard to kind of show up how you need to. And yeah, so as far as managing kind of work and personal life, and meeting that middle for your best, mental health, I would just say that, an overall good routine, where it doesn't have to be, you have to do something specific every day, but do something specific every day that is for your mental and your physical health. And I think, we're all humans. It's really hard to follow a strict schedule, but as long as you're kind of doing the best that you can for mind and body, then you'll probably be okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at the end, You basically you need to take care of the instrument. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So if you keep
exactly.
it healthy and up and running, it's gonna. I mean, you are gonna be able to perform 100% every day, which I do think that we all want that. Otherwise, it might be a little bit chaotic. You know?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And especially, I think most actors as well, like acting is you are doing, it's, I would say, one of the hardest multitasking jobs because you are doing so much all at once. And yeah, if you don't have a good place at the end of the day, or even if it's not a physical place, a good mental place to kind of reset and unwind so that you don't have all of that going on all at once, it can get very overwhelming, which I've seen happen a lot and has happened definitely to myself as well. And so, yeah, even if it's not a physical place, being able to find something that works for you, whether that's exercise, reading a book, anything really, where it takes you out of that work life so that you can not be constantly overstimulated by all of that.
Couldn't agree more. I like it. Then actors have to, often perform different type of genres or styles of performance. So is
Mhm.
there like a particular genre or style that you haven't experienced yet and you would love to do that anytime in the near future?
Honestly, as far as like a genre, but it's more of a type of acting is I don't honestly have a ton of experience, if not actually like being completely honest with actually being on stage versus, training it. I have very little experience in theater, but it's very, very interesting to me, and I would definitely jump on any opportunity that I get in the future to be in any kind of theater production, just because it is quite different as far as how you're acting for theater versus film and television. But just because I don't have any experience with it, but there's so many actors that got their start in theater or at least have some kind of background in it, I would like to be able to say that I have a little bit of experience in it. So whenever that kind of opportunity shows itself, I'll definitely be happy to do and take that on.
Yeah, I mean, maybe at some point you will even have your own action figure.
Yeah, who
Wouldn't that
knows.
be cool, to be walking on, I don't know, any supermarket or just in the streets and then see these brand new toys of the next superhero film or something, and then boom, we see you.
That is true. That would be very, very cool. I think it's very exciting that we never really know what the future holds, and usually it's better than we could have imagined it.
Yeah, like what do you think at this point the 10-year-old version of yourself would think about you right now?
Like in 10 years, what they'll think of me now?
No, your younger version.
Oh, my younger version. Oh, my 10-year-old self. Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I would hope that she's very excited, and I think she would be very proud. And I hope that that's the same result for, how I will feel of myself in another 10 years. Um, yeah, honestly, just because so much has changed since then. And just the fact that I've now, you know, being on movie sets, meeting the people that I've been able to meet, doing the training that I've been able to do, I think she would be really, really excited that this career is starting to kind of go forward and really be put in motion for me. And I think that she would, yeah, hopefully be proud of most of the work that I've done for myself on that.
Totally. I do think that sometimes we forget how much work we have put through to get where we
Yeah.
are right now. You know what I mean? And when you get the
Yeah.
chance to kind of stop for a second and realize all the things you have done, at
Yeah.
least, uh, yeah, it tastes different. Like suddenly life, yeah, suddenly life is tastes different somehow when you realize that you're actually pursuing something that you're passionate about and you are, making it happen. Yeah, sure. I mean, you are not in this position you want, but but hey, at least you're making those steps to getting to where you want to be at
Yeah,
some point. You know what I
exactly.
mean?
And where you want to be, with every year and every year you get older, that improves and that bar gets set higher as well. And it's really good to always remember that, the bar that we probably set for ourselves 10 years ago, we've reached that already. But it's really easy to kind of let that fly by and to forget about it when, you're hardworking people and you're constantly moving that bar a little bit higher. It's good to remember that, you achieved all those rungs on the ladder to get to where you are.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And tell me, like, what has been the most bizarre or unexpected thing that ever happened to you on set?
Um, oh boy, most bizarre. I would say honestly, probably involving other people is probably a set that I was on. Probably a year ago now, a year and a little bit. I think maybe a little bit more. And it was a night shoot, and we were filming in Pinoca, and we were actually filming during the Pinoca Stampede. So, for those of you that don't know, we have like the Calgary Stampede here, but then we also have a lot of other rodeo events around Alberta, and one of the largest is the Pinoca Stampede. And we were filming during the Stampede, and we were on one side with the fence, and on the other side of the fence, was actually like the beer gardens area. So it was where everyone was kind of partying after the day was done. And I grew up in the Western and rodeo community, and so when we were filming there, I constantly, since it's the general public, saw people that I knew and grew up with and or competed with. Any of those, I saw them kind of frequently going across the fence and recognizing me and trying to get my attention, which at the time, obviously, we were mid filming, so I couldn't run over and be like, hi, so nice to see you. I haven't seen you in a long time. But it was really cool because that was kind of the first moment where I had people from all the other areas of my life kind of recognize me being on set and doing the career that I really, really now love. So that was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And slightly
I like it.
bizarre because I wasn't expecting to see as many people as I did that I knew. I kind of should have guessed that, seeing as it was the Pinoca Stampede. But yeah, no, that was a really, really, really cool evening for me. I went home on a cloud for sure.
That is epic. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And if you could play, any historical figure, fictional character, or
Yeah.
even let's go crazy, or even an animal, why not? Who would it be and why?
I was kind of sorry to cut you off there. I'm definitely passionate about this one because this is something that I definitely actually have had my heart set on since I kind of decided, that I wanted to become an actress. And this for sure would be Annie Oakley because she's someone that I grew up, reading and hearing a bunch about. And so for those of you who don't know, Annie Oakley was a old Western sharpshooter. She was one of the first female sharpshooters, and she started traveling on a circuit and performing this. And so she was really, really kind of a trailblazer for women at the time because it was a very male dominated sport. And they weren't really also, as far as shows, used to seeing a bunch of women travel. And she was also an amazing equestrian. She was really, really handy on a horse, but also amazing, amazing with her guns. And yeah, there actually hasn't been a film or a TV show made about her since around the 1950s. And so there actually hasn't been kind of a new revamped version of her story. And I think that if we made that with, you've all seen, the kind of Western films with our technology advances and everything that we can make nowadays, I think that that would be a really, really cool show. And being able to play her would just be absolutely amazing.
Yeah, that's I mean, who knows? Maybe we
Yeah,
are just maybe we are just giving the next thing going on
yeah,
here. I
yeah.
like it.
I'm manifesting that right now for sure. I'm putting that out into the
Yeah.
universe. If there's any
You
writers who are gonna watch this at all, and you're looking for a topic and you want to write about a western, I would definitely, definitely research and look into Annie Oakley.
I do hope we get the chance like to see, like more westerns every now and then. I mean, I used to yeah, so I kind of grew up with westerns too. Didn't quite like them that much, but then it took it took one video game to make me love westerns, which is called Red Dead Redemption. And I was like, dude, this is cool. I love it. And then I just started to watch like westerns every now and then, and I was like, okay, this is epic. I want like more of this stuff. Why not?
Yeah. No,
Cool.
yeah, for sure. Westerns are definitely, I would say, my favorite, being that I'm probably biased, living on a ranch and riding every day. But yeah, just I think also as far as most action movies go, they're just really entertaining to watch, especially when they're when they're time period pieces, because it's so cool to me that in TV and film that we can transport people back however many years that we really want to. And yeah, the work that goes in behind the scenes and everything, to make sure that everything is kind of, following that timeline so that it looks, as close to authentic as we could possibly get it, is really, really impressive.
Totally. All
Yeah.
right. Cool.
Cool.
And if you were stranded on a desert island and could only bring three movies to watch, what would they be?
Well, I hope I'm never stranded on a deserted island. However, if it's a deserted island where I still have the capabilities to watch movies, maybe it's not that bad. But oh boy, three all time. Definitely one would be the original Black Beauty. And
Okay.
that's my younger self coming out right there for sure. Because I grew up in a very small town, and we didn't have internet or cell service, and I had just a few movies on VCRs, and Black Beauty was one of them, and so I watched that probably hundreds of times, and I could watch it, I know, hundreds of times more. And other than that, probably, it's tough because I was just talking about how much I love Western movies, but I also love the whole atmosphere of any James Bond movie. I really do. And also, so probably any one of those. I could not pick one. Um, yeah, and probably I really a car girl. Anything to do with mechanics, cars and trucks, I'm absolutely in love. So probably one of the first Fast and Furious movies I would pick. I also would not be able to pick one just because that would be my guilty pleasure show,
Mm.
because I get to constantly get to see cars, and other than horses, there's not much better than that.
And what do you think about? So you said that one of the first Fast and Furious films, right? Not like the
Yeah.
actual ones.
Well, it's I know that the internet is kind of divided when it comes to the Fast and Furious movies. But I feel like the majority of people prefer a couple of the first ones versus a couple of the new ones. No, don't get me wrong, the new ones are really cool. I have watched all of them more than twice. Um, but yeah, I think just as far as if there was only three and it was a deserted island, it would be one of the first couple ones if I had to watch it hundreds of times.
Yeah, I mean, we went through street racing and stealing trailers to do black op operations for the government and taking a Pontiac to space.
Yeah, yeah, but I mean, and you know what? Honestly, like the internet is divided on it for sure. Um, but I think also it just comes down to whatever your opinion is about it. I just think that it definitely showcases how awesome film is as a whole. That,
Hmm.
someone as a writer well, the writer of Fast and Furious had that idea. And now with our actors and our technology and everything, we're able to bring that to life, because the advancements that we've had, versus even 50 years ago, if someone handed that script in, they'd probably be like, well, how are we going to make this? How are we going to make this work? How are we going to make it look real? And now we can. So, despite anyone's opinion on it, I'll stand by that. I think that that is really cool as an
Yeah, oh
industry.
yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I love them because they're ridiculously funny.
Yeah.
It's at least at least how I see it is it's just a typical action film with a lot of nonsense going on and a lot of incredibly fun stunts every now and then. So yeah, I mean, I do like them. I'll be watching them for sure. I mean, not on films, but like whenever it's like on a streaming platform, like I'm gonna watch it. Why not?
Yeah.
Because I know that I, I will have to disconnect my head basically and just enjoy the explosions, the cars,
Yeah.
and the nonsense stuff every now and then
Yeah.
that that will appear, and yeah, I think perhaps that is why some people like it, and perhaps some people might not because they are not, yeah, that they are not that real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as I said, I mean, I think that those type of films are perfect for you to disconnect, disconnect
Yeah.
yourself and enjoy the experience, the fireworks, and have a good time, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that in film there's, every movie kind of makes you feel something different, whether it's a horror and it's to be scared, or it's a drama and it's, to be really engaged in that, or really sad with what's going on, or it's a comedy and it's just, it's for you, to have a good laugh. But I also like those movies that are kind of like that, where it's it's very much so, it's so action packed and there's so much stunts going on that you're super invested in it because it's really cool. But there's also just always a tinge of like, oh, I don't think that could happen. But the way that it's written is like, oh, maybe it could. Like maybe physics would allow that, possibly. There's a slim chance, and I think that that's why people love it so much.
Yeah. All right. That is epic. And let's say that one day I call you and I tell you that I want to become an actor. Now, here's the thing, zero experience. So based on what you know, what do you think that would be important for me? Yeah, for me to know before, jumping into this career.
Definitely, honestly, I would say like, a few pointers for it. Like I'm also just getting started in this career. This is just something that I decided I would really like to pursue. But I would say honestly, like have good interpersonal skills and work on networking skills as well, because this is 100% an industry based off of connections. You have to absolutely be talented and work on your craft and all of that. But it's also, you have to make friends. You're on set with people for many, many hours a day. It has to be people that you want to work with, and they want to work with you. And that's why so many people work with their friends. So many lifelong friendships are made on movie sets, because you're with these people for so many hours. And yeah, having good interpersonal skills and being able to network and always making those new connections, like we just did, circling back to, you just said, you have your friend who loves westerns and might want to have a new idea to write a new one. All of that is networking and finding connections to see who can help you, whether that is, you're looking for writers for an idea, you're looking for actors for your idea, everything down to, you need someone, because we live right now, we're kind of coming out of it, but we live right now in a time of self tapes, whether it's even just, having a community and a friend to come help you with your self tape. All of that's really, really important. It's definitely, becoming an actor is not something that many people can do completely on their own. You hear all of the bigger success stories, and they all had help from friends, and those friends are still the lifelong friends. So
There you
yeah, that
go.
would be my best advice to you. And then also circling back to, yeah, just keeping your mind and your body happy and healthy, so that you can always be the best version, not just in life, but as an actor as well, that you can be.
Love it. I tell you
Yeah.
what, if I ever become an actor, I'll be mentioning you on my thank you speech for, I don't know, maybe if I want an award for my memoirs. Who knows?
Perfect. Perfect.
Sounds like a plan. And like, what motivates you? We all have those days that basically we just want to quit. It's inevitable, happens to all of us. So how you stay positive?
Mhm. Honestly, that is like, acting requires, I would say, definitely a tough skin, because you get a lot of no's. You get a lot of no's before you get a yes. Um, and yeah, being able to truly let that roll off your back. Once you've submitted an audition, that is it's out of your hands for so many reasons. You might not get picked for something that you couldn't even have thought of, whether that is along the lines of, you they didn't think that you fit exactly the look that they wanted, or maybe the person they went with was maybe just a little bit taller, a little bit shorter than you, all these things that are completely out of your control. And unfortunately, the tough thing about acting is, every audition is kind of a job submission, but you don't usually hear back, if you don't get it, as to why you didn't get it. And so just, it's really tough, but you got to put your all into every audition, every room that you walk into. And then you got to leave that just being like, it's okay, because I'll try again and I'll put, my best foot forward the next time, because eventually you'll get a yes. And honestly, I would say, actors have a, I wouldn't say I wouldn't say crazy, but we have a very, very, very strong drive and we want it very badly because there's not many other careers where you know, get that many no's and have to put that much effort every single time to possibly get a yes. But when you do, it's really worth it. And so it's always kind of keeping that is it is a dream. It's chasing your dreams in reality because, you know, becoming an actor is a dream come true for so many reasons. And you just really have to hold on to that and try again and try again. You know, many actors, including, you know, our A-list celebrities and stuff that we see all the time, spent years on their craft, many years, and getting many no's. And, you know, being told by different directors and producers and casting directors that, you know, they just weren't right for the part or weren't even right for film and television. And then, you know, they got a different producer, director, casting director who told them that, you know, they actually love them and they're exactly what they've been looking for the role. And so yeah, it's really a try again game, and you have to be able to roll with punches and, you know, let it roll off your back. If you got to know, don't take it personally ever. And because if you are doing the best that you can as far as how you come across, as far as your acting, you know, you're taking care of yourself, all of that, it is a matter of time. But it's those few actors that are willing to wait that out and wait that time that will eventually make it and get those roles.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And
there's no magic recipe. There's also no magic recipe for, you know, staying motivated all the time. We all have, you know, our days that are you get a no, or, you know, you put your absolute heart and soul, you put like, you know, so many hours into memorizing a script, knowing in and out, knowing your lines, you submit that audition, you think it was, you know, there's no, you know, we all have those times where it's like, that is the best I could have done. And, you know, you still don't hear anything back. And we're human. That gets to everyone for sure. But it's those ones that, you know, let it get to them a little bit and then pick themselves right back up, go to the next audition, walk into the next room, and still do their best. And that's really the only magical advice to do it, is really just to keep going. So yeah.
that's badass. I love it. And you know what, my last question, so we can all relax and enjoy after, you know, a couple of incredible questions here and there. What do you think that could be the best title for this episode?
The best title for it. Well, it has to obviously encompass the industry and everything we've talked about. You know, I'm gonna get your help with this one. I'll come up with the name, but based off of everything we've talked about so far and whatnot, could you kind of, what would be your if you had to throw three like key words that kind of come to mind as far as our conversation that we've just had, what would that kind of be if you had three keywords? I'm
Cars,
kind of putting spot
yeah, so it's cars, horses, and westerns.
in westerns. Okay. And so they all emotion, they all, most things, two of those go fast. Honestly, I think I would call it set in motion. I
Set
like
in
that.
motion.
Set in
Okay.
motion, yeah, because we have, you know, we're talking about movie sets. Um, talking about all of it, it's always in motion, whether that being, you know, what we're actually doing or what we're talking about today, which is, you know, even for both of us, both of our careers are kind of getting put in motion. They're getting set in motion. And yeah, I think set in motion with Emma Rose would be a good title.
Sounds like a plan to me. I like it. Set in motion. I mean, at the end, what can I say? You know, the fact that you're pursuing it, you're making it happen. You know, you're going for it. I think that's the key to it. You know, to go for it. You know, to don't wait, just go. And
Yeah.
you're doing it, and you're showing results, and you're loving it. I think that is the whole key to it, and
Yeah.
that's amazing. You know, I mean, we all know that it's crazy difficult, like specifically to go after something that you need to build from scratch. You know,
Yeah.
but you're doing it, and that is epic, and that is why I discovered why you're super badass, because you're going for it. It's easier said than done, as I said, but you're killing it out there, so that's pretty cool.
And as far as an actor, like, it is really what you just said about building from the ground up. As an actor, you are your own business. You are making all of your connections, you're making all of your business transactions, all of that, and that's all on you. And yeah, it's really true that, like, it's either one day or day one. And you got so many, I will say, as an actor, you have so many no's and critiques and things to go through before you get that yes, that it's good to make this the day one so that you can get that started.
There you go.
Yeah.
Epic. So, Emma, thank you so much for making this happen. It's incredible. Keep rocking, keep shining, keep being super badass. I also want to thank those who stay the whole episode. Now, in the description below, you're going to find all of them on social media, because we discovered why she's super badass. Let's make her viral. # Team Emma. And keep rocking out there, keep kicking ass, keep showing up, keep doing what you do. And I'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, no, and thank you. And the same to you. Everyone, please go watch it, because we're both doing the same thing. We're both chasing our dreams right now with our passions, and it's all the people that are helping us and backing us up that are making that a reality.
There you go.
Thank you to everyone.